despite what their moms told them. They just aren't talented enough for radio. Unfortunately, anyone can have a show these days. Sean.
Well, I'm pretty hard to figure out sometimes. In fact, I can't even figure myself out sometimes, so don't you try to.
Joe.
You're an idiot. And really a disloyal person.
This is the Cuse Militia. Now, those two unapologetically biased orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
It's the most bullshit thing I've seen in 30 years.
Welcome, orange men and ladies. Happy Tuesday. This is the Cuse Militia with Sean and Joe. At Cuse Militia on the socials. Go there. Join the militia. We are here to bring you our thoughts in your predictions, or our predictions in your predictions, on the upcoming game against Perdue at the Dome. And we're going to talk about that, but first, the basketball schedule came out today. The only thing I really look for this early on such a thing would be who we play twice. When I look through it, the first ones I always check is Duke. We played Duke once, and the second one I check is North Carolina. We played them once.
And we always play Boston College and Pittsburgh twice.
Right, and then I just kind of go from there. So Notre Dame, Pitt, Boston College, like Joe mentioned, UVA, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. Those are the home away games.
Not awful.
It's not terrible. Playing UNC once and Duke once. By the way, for the hell of it here, I've got this. Let's see. North Carolina is at home and Duke is at home. So kind of a big deal. That definitely helps. But you guys roped me in to football season while I'm still wearing board shorts and flip-flops, and I'm finally in football season mode, and then the basketball schedule comes out, and I'm like, guys, that's so far away to me right now, right?
Yeah. We'll get into that later.
I think about the overlap right now, and I'm just like, it's fun when you're doing it, but it's like somewhat agonizing when you're just starting football. In an exciting football season. So I'm going to take this schedule, and hats off to Cuse Waterboy who gave me the heads up on that and made sure I checked Twitter for it. So he's like my eyes on Twitter. If there's anything important, he usually sends it to me because he knows. He knows. Most of you do. I'm not there. But I will say I have been active somewhat lately. So, if it's exciting, the football stuff, like I said. So, that is that for basketball. Going to shelve that for a little bit. Yeah. And anything else, Joe, before we start the Purdue preview?
No, be good.
All right, cool. Let's start this. We'll go over our predictions. Actually, we'll go over your predictions, then we'll do our predictions on the Spotify Green Room app. If you haven't already, go there, download the app if you could, please, and sign up. Username, email, password is all you need. It's free. Sign up for notifications. Follow us at Cuse Militia. Sign up for notifications. Get notified when we go live. It's how we interact with you. It's a perfect way to simplify the call-in process on the live portion of the podcast. So if you would do so, that would be great. The all-time series between the Boilermakers and the Orange sits at 1-0 in favor of Purdue. So the two teams met in 2004 for the first and only time. Syracuse was blown out 51-0. It was Kyle Orton who went 16 for 30 for 287 yards, while Joe Fields and Perry Patterson combined for 15 to 25 for 157 and 2 interceptions. Purdue is currently this is for what it's worth. This early in the season, Purdue is currently 35th in the country in total defense and 29th in total offense. Juxtapose that with Syracuse's 47th ranked defense and 26th ranked offense. Believe it or not, I would think those numbers would be swapped, but here we are 2 weeks in, and that's what we got. Aiden O'Connell. So as we mentioned on last show, he's Schrader big, but not Schrader athletic. Kind of what Joe alluded to. 6'3", 210. He's completed 59.5% of his passes. The game against Penn State was around 50%, and he picked it up, obviously, against Indiana State or whatever their second game was.
Yeah.
And so he's got 576 yards total on 79 attempts, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions so far in the season. Just compare Schrader, 79.2% passer completion rating, and 523 yards on 48 attempts, 5 touchdowns as well, no interceptions, and 6'4", 228. So Devin McAbee, he's their leading rusher with 78 yards through 2 games. Aiden O'Connell's at the bottom of that list of rushers so far with negative 17 for what it's worth. I just caught my eye. And although Purdue, they do have a good balance on rushing TDs and passing TDs, they're pass heavy. And so the way I see it offensively for them, just on paper, is that they lack a couple things. A mobile QB, a legit run game, I think. I didn't get to watch the game that I wanted to watch. First couldn't find it, and then I stopped caring. O'Connell is, he loves Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones is a senior, 21 receptions for 286 yards and 4 touchdowns out of his 5. The rest of the team has 34 receptions and 14 other receivers, whether they're out of the backfield or they're tight end or whatever. Right. Mershawn Rice is second in receiving yards with 59. So just to compare, Charlie Jones with 286 and Rice with 59 and 0 TDs. So for me, Joe, on paper, when you look at this, not knowing a whole lot and not having watched them, so to be fair, I have not physically put my eyes on it, I'm a little underwhelmed with Purdue. Now, they lost a close one to Penn State, 35-31. No. They totaled 61 yards on the ground and 365 yards through the air. So, I mean, it's really hard to judge, I feel like. They're limited, like I mentioned, when it comes down to bringing home a W. I think a lot of it's going to be on our defense. And I hear good things about their defense, too. Coach said some things good things in the presser about the defense. And also Aiden O'Connell, obviously a talented guy. I think he compared him to maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. We have to assume, right? So, I don't know, man. Am I being too optimistic, Joe, or am I missing something? Educate me.
No, I mean, I don't think that you are. It sounds like you educated yourself pretty well. I mean, to your point, I mean, the second leading receiver has got 59 yards. And this really right now, to me, is just a team that's hard to judge. I mean, they bring a lot of experience back from defense. Charlie Jones came in as a transfer. He's 5-year senior, started out at Buffalo, went to Iowa. Looks like he missed a season 2019 for something, and now he shows up to Purdue. And this guy is first in catches. He's already tied his career catching for a season. Fourth in the and this is in the country. Fourth in the country in yards, and believe he's first in touchdowns with 5. I believe, right?
4.
Tied for first. Oh, sorry, tied for second then, because the leading receiver has 5. But either way, like you said, the next leading receiver has 3 catches for 59 yards.
Yeah, no touchdowns.
So this has been the guy. Obviously, this is the guy that we're going to have to stop, and it's a hard team to judge because they played. We don't know how good Penn State is, and then they played an Indiana State team, right, where we don't know. I mean, that was D1 AA school. So at the end of the day, this is just a hard team to judge. They did kind of run up the scoreboard on Indiana State, and they had a bunch of over 250 rushing yards, or at least 200, I believe. So, I mean, again, yeah, I mean, to the eye of looking at the stats and everything, yeah, I mean, it does look a little underwhelming, but really, realistically, you're looking at it as, Penn State, who knows how good they are. If they're really, really good, then that's a pretty good outing. I think they should have won that game anyway. And then they play an Indiana State team that, again, it's tough to judge a team off a D1 AA school. So I just know that they're just going to throw the crap out of the ball. Aiden O'Connell still hasn't thrown an interception, so he's got, I think, a little bit more yards than Schrader with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Is he a 5th or 6th year senior, by the way?
Who is that?
Aiden O'Connell. I need to look this up if you don't know it.
29, so 5th is what it looks like.
Are you
no,
sure?
Sorry. No, he's just a
2019.
4-year senior.
Oh, he's in his 4th year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right.
Yep. So he's just a 4-year senior. And again, I mean, this guy, he's good. I just don't know how the players around him, this could be a team that ends up getting better as the season goes on. But to me personally, it looks like we're a little bit more prepared, than, Purdue right now, as far as just knowing what we're doing and having people around us, right? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
it's more of a. I feel like Syracuse is more of a complete team. Like I said, I feel like that without seeing them and just looking at what they do on paper, I feel like they're missing some things. And I feel like when you look at what this defense did, and we know we lost Stephon Thompson in that game, but you look at what the defense did to Louisville and Malik Cunningham. I mean, now we're in a situation where the run threat, especially if you've got your rover out there, it's not going to be necessarily like something to worry about. Now you're worried about Charlie Jones. I mean, that's what you need to worry about, and not even worried about Aiden O'Connell that much to start this game. I don't think. I think you focus on Charlie Jones. Make sure this dude doesn't throw the ball. Make Aiden O'Connell go somewhere else with it, and see what they can do from there and adjust.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do that, but like to what we talked about and alluded to before, you got to shake O'Connell. You got to get pressure.
You absolutely do. Yeah,
and
always.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I think that like you said, because they're not as complete a team, then I think we're going to be able to concentrate on certain things and make them beat us in other ways. And it doesn't mean that they can't, but like you said, they're ranked 57th in defense, and that's after holding Indiana State to 0 points, right? So, I mean, who really knows? But again, the whole question is how good is Penn State?
Well, there's not much to compare with them either. They've only got 2 games as well. The Ohio Bobcats, and then 46-10. They beat them. Which, I mean, didn't we play them last year or the year before or something like that?
No.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, not a whole lot to this early in the season to obviously kind of compare it to. All you can do really is see what they do, and what they do is they pass the ball a ton, and Charlie Jones is his guy. So,
well, and
a talented guy, obviously, in this.
And I'm sure that
kid,
they
right?
have other talented guys that are
I'm sure they do.
That just might not have just stepped up yet.
But
and
I don't
we
know.
haven't played against a team that predominantly passes. So,
well, here's the other thing, and I don't know what Penn State's defense is like, but he only completed like 50% of his passes. That's all he did is air the ball in that game.
yeah,
So I'm not sure about Penn State's defense, like where they.
I'm sure it's
where
probably
they sit.
pretty good.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably pretty good too. But let's just take a look. So anyway, the run game is not necessarily not a threat. We've seen we've seen people get it going. They just don't use it that much. So maybe they come in and they do, and they realize that, hey, we're gonna have to get some kind of run game going against this defense to at least keep them honest.
Yeah.
One way or
that's
another.
what you saw. That's why they ran so much. I mean, Aiden O'Connell only threw for 194 yards, albeit 4 touchdowns, but they rushed for a whole bunch too. So it looked like they were working on the run. And I mean, if you were a coach looking at the secondary and looking at like Syracuse's defense and where their weaknesses possibly may lie, I mean, where would you go? I mean, you're still going to have to try to get a running attack. You can't just go in there and try to air it out and you get the crowd involved, and all it is a couple of big plays, and now you're just sitting there. I mean, if they're going to have to if they get down, they're going to have to just spread it out, and they're going to have to air it out anyway, right? So, what's the point of just coming out and doing it, without trying to establish a run if they think that there's some type of advantage there, especially if they think that their offensive line has one. So.
Yeah, so is it going to be a situation where, it's kind of touch and go, where both teams are trying to feel each other out? I mean, because you could say the same thing about Syracuse and the defense. They don't really exactly know what to expect, hands down. The aforementioned Louisville game. Like, we knew, hands down, what to expect. We've seen them. We played them. They had weeks to study. This is a little different. So we don't know because they haven't shown much. if that's what they plan on doing, or if they got more in the basket.
Well, I think that, again, they still have some questions that need to be answered against, certain situations. And, when you throw it 30 out of 60 times and you only rush for 61 yards against a team like Penn State, obviously there was a little bit of one-sidedness and some things that only, you weren't 100% confident in your overall offense, right? And that was proven. Because, it wasn't like they had the lead at a point in Penn State for a little while. And I don't think they ever really started to lean on the run game. So, they still have questions. And I think that our offense, they really don't. I think we know who we are. They got better from week 1 to week 2, and I expect it to get better towards week 3. Now, granted, we might be playing against, better competition, but, I'm not so sure Purdue's defense is that much better than Louisville's.
Purdue's defense is ranked 28th. I had my numbers backwards, by the way, and that's my bad. So I'm glad we're talking about it. Penn State's total defense is currently 63rd. And I'm looking for Louisville since you just mentioned them. Syracuse's total defense, by the way, is 26th. And man, Louisville's 88.
Yeah, I'm just arguing. I'm not saying this.
I'm just saying it's only 2 games in the season. It's so hard to go off of this, but that's all we got. So
right, and Schrader he might not be, even though he's number 4th in the nation right now in QBR. He might not have the arm that O'Connell has, but overall, I think we have a more complete offense.
I think
we know who we are.
I think the DBs are going to be up for a challenge, and they're probably going to be, all game getting balls thrown their way, and they're going to, accidents. Things are going to happen. Okay,
yeah.
We've saw a couple of things happen.
I don't doubt there's not going to be a couple of big plays here and there.
And that's what we've let go is the big plays. So when you look at all the what was it, the 3 touchdowns that were scored against us, they were all pretty big plays. I think they were over 20. So
25 probably.
Okay, so when you look at Purdue scoring, you got to think that they're going to hit on something big, and blown coverage or just maybe being tired. Who the hell knows? I don't know, but one could speculate. So,
no, I think when you have, Purdue has scored a bunch of points the last couple of years with his quarterback, and albeit they might not have the most talented receiving core that he's had, he's still going to be able to make some NFL throws. That's kind of where he's at. I think that he's an NFL prospect, and he's got an arm, man. So there's going to be plays. There's going to be things that happen. There's going to be some stuff that he throws and some things that they do that I don't think they've seen yet this year, as far as when I'm speaking about our defensive backs. So there are going to be some things. There's going to be some learning stuff. But I think that if we can continue to not go 3 and out and shoot ourselves in the foot and run some clock and put points on the board and just be consistent like we have, then,
So
I know we haven't turned the way. We're +5 in the turnovers this year. And I'm not going to sit here and say, we're going to jinx it, but at some point we're going to have a turnover, right? So it's going to happen. So there might be things that happen in this game that we haven't seen yet this year, but it's probably because we're playing against a better team than we've played this year. And I think that they've played a better team than probably us this year, as far as Penn State as well. So, and they could have easily won that game. So I know that they've had some guys that have been injured, coming trying to get some soft tissue injuries that they're trying to work back, and that they kind of were safe about when it came to Indiana State last week. So we'll see come Saturday with those guys, but overall I'm confident that we're going to be able to compete. And like I said, I think that we have more of an identity than they do on defense and on offense, and I think that our guys are confident. And once you know what your identity is, then it's all about just getting comfortable and learning and just getting better with each other. And I still think that Purdue's this year really isn't there yet.
Syracuse has got 2 picks and 3 fumble recoveries. So you're right, in the +5. They haven't turned the ball over yet. Aiden O'Connell has not thrown an interception yet.
No.
Syracuse did not get an interception against UConn. Does Syracuse give Aiden O'Connell his first interception of the year? Does it come down to just throwing the ball so much that maybe you make a mistake, or maybe, I mean, look, Syracuse DBs are talented, man. It's just so I mean, how do you see that? And that was going to be a poll I was going to put out. Does Syracuse turn over Aiden O'Connell in the interception column?
I mean, I think they do.
I would like to hope so.
I don't know about multiples,
but I'd be a whole lot more confident had they done it, at least once against UConn too. But
UConn didn't throw; they didn't take chances down the field.
They didn't take chances down the field. You're right, but I mean, I just feel like that's what it's going to come down to. Is the defense stepping up? I'm not, despite what I've heard, because it's been so mixed, I'm not super worried about their defense. Although, I mean, I think this is probably the best defense we're going to face so far, and the statistics show that too, just through 2 games. Like I said, Louisville's defense is 88th right now, and theirs is like 63rd or something, whatever I told you. Or Penn State's was 63rd. Theirs is 28th. So that's pretty good.
Right, but But
we're basing it off Indiana State as well.
Well, yeah, we're basing it off of all that, right? And we're also basing it off the fact, I mean, it's 2 games. It's hard to really look at the ratings like that. I mean, Louisville, one of the reasons why they're 88th is because we put 31 on them. And so is our offense just that good, right? I don't know.
I think our offense is that good.
I would like to think so as well. And I would like to think that Perdue is not that killer team. I mean, like I said, they're a team that's going to probably win 8 games, and probably have a chance to win their division in the Big Ten. But I just don't necessarily think that, they're that world beater defense that is going to shut this offense completely down, considering that I think we're 3-dimensional when it comes down to what we can do. So, the key really is that can we continue what we're doing and put up points early and get Purdue down to the point where they, they go back to the Purdue versus the Purdue offense versus Penn State, and it's looking like it's going to be a 50-60 throw game. Because if that's the case and they're going to start doing that, then I definitely think that we're definitely going to get that turnover.
All right. With that said, it's enough rambling out of Joe for one night. I know all of you are thinking the same thing. Let's go ahead and revisit our picks from last week's game against UConn. And I had 47-17, so I was off by a total of what the hell was I off by? 6? The hell was the score?
48-14.
Yes, okay, that's what I thought. 6. So I was off by 6. Joe nailed the 14. Good job. And he was off by 4. Or wait, I'm sorry, you had 52. Yeah, so you're off by 4. So Joe takes it. We are 1-1 heading into Purdue between Joe and I. By the way,
is that what I guess? 52-14?
It is.
Oh, wow.
And Michael, our buddy Michael, who's participated in 2 predictions so far, was 52-3, so he finishes last, and he's just okay at this. I'm pretty good. Joe's okay, pretty good too.
No, I don't know. You might have our scores switched.
No, I don't. I confirmed it with him via Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Via Twitter.
All right.
I have Joe right here, like plain straight up, 52-14. So
okay. All right.
Okay. And then I think Dominic participated via Spotify Live, but I don't have his written down. So, anyways, I know, dude. I meant to go back and look. I didn't write it down. I meant to go back and look because it is in on the socials because he did respond to that. So, Joe, 1-1. All right, let's go to Facebook first and see what they got going on there and their predictions. By the way, just put this up. So I hope that we have some responses. All right. And we do. We have plenty. And I don't get when you click on, I hate Facebook. I really do. You click on the comments, and there's 4 choices that they choose for you. Most relevant, hidden by this page, which is none, because we don't do that crap. Newest in all comments. Why isn't it just set to all comments? Why when I click into here, do I have to always hit all comments so I see all comments? If I'm clicking into there to see the comments, don't you want to see all the comments? And how come when you hit most relevant, only 2 of them show up? When every single one of them is predicting the score. Can you answer that?
How can I answer that? Do I look like Mark Zuckerberg to you? I know.
I hate Facebook. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. I'm sorry.
No.
Let's just start at the top. Don. Orange by 3, 31-28. Okay. All right. We haven't let the cat out of the bag on what we think here, and I haven't looked at any of these yet. Orange win 31-27. Close game against a solid opponent. From Dave. Daniel, Syracuse 48, Perdue 37. Jeffrey 24-20, Cuse. Jim, Cuse 28, Cuse 38, Perdue 28. Alex 28-21. I kind of like the 28-21. Alex with a solid one this week. Our boy top fan, Zach on Facebook. He says realistic score: Cuse 178, Perdue 7. Unrealistic score: Cuse 42, Perdue 17. So we're just going to take the unrealistic score.
Let's do that one.
Okay. All right. 42-17. Zach has Cuse winning that one. Robert 28-10, Cuse. Jacob 34-17, Cuse. David 35-3. I have no idea who he picked. He didn't tell me. Not George. 44-36 Cuse. Chris 33-17 Cuse. Sammy with an I. 20-10 SU. Okay. We those are some solid scores, by the way. You can start to base your opinion off of those, Joe, if you'd like. Okay. So let's see. What else we got? What do you think? You like that?
I like them. Did they all pick Syracuse to win?
Yeah, they did. And of course, we got our boy Captain Patrick over here at Will Cuse on Twitter. 38-28. Obviously what? Obviously what? Jeez.
I mean, I get it. You should.
I know. Obviously Cuse. Obviously Perdue. I don't think Perdue can keep Cuse under 30. This is at Matt_Sherman52. I don't think Perdue can keep Cuse under 30 points, and it feels like they would have in order to win. Aiden O'Connell gets his yards. He'll also get picked 4 times. That's a prediction right there. Syracuse 38, Perdue 24. You come into the Dome or what, fellas? So I was in no. I can't. I can't. I can't. It is not.
I can't either.
What do you mean, Joe? You don't have the kids. What do you got planned? Dinner? What do you got? A dinner planned? You hosting? What are you doing? You got a campfire? What do you got?
I am.
What are you going to start burning? Joe is not going to have a tree line between him and his neighbors. At some point, he's going to either have to start planting stuff, or it is just going to be one continuous yard. So Joe,
stop it.
So Joe.
Stop.
So Joe, what do you got going on that you can't take Matt up? You can't take Matt up on his offer for the free tickets and go to the Perdue game, which you talked about going to weeks ago. I think before the season even started. So what?
I know.
Let's hear it. Tell everybody.
We actually had to change weekends because something was going on.
Oh my
with
gosh.
Their father. So we actually have the kids, and we're watching her mom's dog. So.
Okay. Fine.
Sorry. Things come up, bro.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Matt.
You have no idea.
Release the tickets.
You have no idea how bad. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Matt. I appreciate the offer.
I appreciate the offer as well. I am leaning hard towards Syracuse at Wake Forest. And so we have a lot. I would say if you were to rank the states in order of listeners, we would go probably New York, North Carolina. New York, North Carolina, believe it or not. Texas is up there. And there's a couple more like Maine and stuff like that. But I think Maine has like 3 people in it. So I'm not sure if it counts.
No.
So I'm leaning towards that Wake Forest game, though. I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
I've been to a bunch of games down here in North Carolina, and Syracuse fans show out every time down here.
Okay. That's good to know. It's going to be chilly, though, but that's okay.
I've been in both.
Okay.
That Duke game was cold, but there's been games like NC State where I was dying in November. Yeah.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm good with November, high 50s, low 60s with the sun out, feels pretty good for November.
Yeah.
So that's what the Tech game was last year. But I'm eyeing that game. I've just got to check the wife's schedule, guys. And I'm just gonna be honest. And you can call me whatever you want. But if my wife works and she can't make it, I'm not allowed to go. It's just as simple as that. I'm just not.
That's right there with you.
Okay. I'm not afraid to admit it.
She was coming with me.
Okay.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
18 plus years of marriage, and I've just learned that, I can't enjoy those things without her because it's part of the law. So I have to check that schedule. And my wife is working this weekend, which is why I cannot make it, and it would be short notice. So anyways, all right. So Matt said 38-24, Syracuse. And he said he has a recount here. He went full homer with the 44, of course. But I like the realistic ones, Matt. I really do. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. At J Foley Hoops, Cuse 24, Perdue 21. Can't wait to witness the dome rocking again. We got to talk about that. At Noah Blanchard 44, Perdue 24, Cuse 27. Noah, you're the first one to pick Perdue. Or no, you didn't. But he's just got. I see what he did. Okay, that scared me for a second. He's got away home. I see how he did it. At Orange Faithful, Cuse 27, Perdue 17. At Cuse Waterboy 34-30. Cuse. At All Things SU, Purdue's offense is solid. The defense gave up 30 plus to Sean Clifford, who is like 26 years. It's like a 26-year senior who has been the demise of PSU's predominance. I like Cuse 35-14. Okay. Whatever. I'll take it. Let's just call it, let's go Orange 2-0, because I don't know what else it says. 41-17 Cuse in a game that is tied at 17 at halftime. I like that. I like the specifics of that. What about you, Joe? You like that? 27-17 Cuse. Tucker has at least 2 explosive runs. He's due. That's true. I like this. This is from at Lynn PD. Might struggle a bit more this week, but they'll get it done. Orange. At CNY Sports Guy, 27-24 Purdue. And that's the first Purdue win prediction. Syracuse eats 600 Purdue chicken wings after they roast Purdue 31-13. I'll take it. Cuse 35-14 at Carpe Beach. Okay, so that ends that. All right. Oh, wait. At Nick Floric 27-24 Orange. All right. So that brings us to this. It's time. Joe.
There's a lot of good ones.
It's a lot of good ones there, and I
don't think I heard mine though.
Oh, see, normally that's funny you say that because normally mine's already written down. But since you won the week, you get to go first. So I am going to, think something up here in a second, Joe. But you're going to go first. And by the way, just for the record, I have all of my predictions already written down here, which is what I write all these scores on. And I got Syracuse preseason prediction losing this game. I got this as their first loss of the year, and going into NC State at 4-1, which would be great. But 5-1 looks a whole lot better, right? So,
right.
Do I flop? Do I flip? I don't know. We'll have to see. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm kind of right there with everybody else. there were some good points made, some good predictions. And I'll tell you what, Garrett Schrader has, like I said, he's 4th in the country in his QBR. He's with the football focus, the PFF awards that they do every week. He's been the quarterback of the team every single week. So I really, really, truly believe that this isn't a situation where, for the first time in a long time, this isn't a situation where the team's coming. I'm not saying they're not worried about Sean Tucker, but there's been a lot of talk about Garrett Schrader the last 2 weeks. And he's proven week 1 with his legs, week 2 with his arms, that he's become a more complete quarterback. And wouldn't it be great to see a defense completely overlook Sean Tucker? And like what they said, he's due. He's due, and we know what our offense is. I think that we're going to be able to score against Purdue. I'm not saying they're not going to be able to stop us, but I think that the whole game is Purdue's offense versus Syracuse's defense and what's going to happen there. And at the end of the day, if our secondary can shut down O'Connell, if we can get pressure on them, if we can stop, if they can never get a running game going, and then this could turn into a potential kind of close to a Louisville type game. But I'll give a little bit of benefit to the doubt to the quarterback because I think he is a pro quarterback. And I'm going to go Syracuse 34, Purdue 24.
Okay, so I already wrote mine down.
I've had this
I'm writing yours
since
down
this afternoon, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
All right, well, I wrote mine down just now, and I told you, and normally I do have mine written down before the show even starts, before I even look at the Twitter. But I did have this one at a loss. And I will say that pleasantly surprised, obviously, coming into this game being not just 2-0, which I had, but as 2-0 as they are, like with the hype, like you said, around Schrader, I don't see it possible how you look past Sean Tucker. I don't see. I just don't. I don't see how that.
How do you stop both?
You can't, but you don't. You exactly, which is the problem that we've presented at the beginning after the first game. How do you prepare for everything if you're a defense playing Syracuse? First of all, second of all, at home. Okay, so. I think I don't know what the dome looks like right now. They usually have you can go there and look at the graphic, which I should have. And I'm sure we'll see it within the next couple of days. Still got time to sell some tickets. But again, just like with Louisville, in pretty much I'm going to say every home game, but the next big one would be NC State. We got to have the crowd. That crowd will frazzle anybody, and it's going to frazzle Purdue. There's going to be, I hope there's at least 40 there, or 38 to 40. I'll be happy with. That place will be rocking. And I'm not super worried about Syracuse's offense. I feel so much more confident in their offense this year than I have I couldn't tell you when. Even when it was Eric Dungey out there doing his thing, I was never super comfortable or confident in Eric Dungey throwing the ball. But I just feel so good about the pass game, the run game, and everything in between. Receivers are catching balls. I think Garrett Schrader has 10. He's lofted to 10 receivers so far this season. I think he had 9 in the last game alone. I caught at least one ball. So. The difference, again, in a tough game, it's going to have to be the defense, and it's going to have to be the crowd. Both of those go hand in hand. And I'm going to flip my preseason prediction from a loss to a win. From Syracuse 34, Purdue, or excuse me, I'm looking at yours. Syracuse 31, Purdue 24. So that is my prediction. And... if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I do see this as a close game. I see it as a game that could even go maybe 31-17 Cuse. So,
you never know, bro.
You never know. You never know. That's why this is fun to do, because the closer we are, we look like geniuses, but we're really not. We're just guessing. So
I mean, it's not even that as much as just. I mean, we've came out and dominated 2 games. With time of possession, turnover margin, yards, score. I mean, all that stuff. So
that's the other thing is you've got to sustain some drives. So this is probably going to be the best defense we've seen so far this year out of 3 teams, and you've got to be able to sustain drives. We all know how big that is. I've mentioned it with, since the season started for the first 2 games, and this game's not going to be any different. I would just hate to see them start slow. That's the thing. They're going to have to start fast. They got to go down and do something. They got to move the ball and keep this offense off the field. And it's not going to be easy. So I've heard mixed reviews, like I said, on the defense. I try to go to, whenever I do any research on an opponent, especially out of conference, I try to go to their blog pages for 247 or SB Nation and see what they're talking about. But guys, they're not talking about anything. I mean, their coach already had their press conference. They're not talking about anything. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. If you don't watch the games, there's nothing there. So all I had to go off of was stats from ESPN in NCAA rankings from NCAA.com.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and obviously those rankings get more accurate the later in the season you get.
Which is why I hate. That's why I prefaced everything with this 2 games.
Which is so tough when it comes down to it. So it's still early, and you're seeing all these teams getting upset, and nobody knows who's who in college football after week 2. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But like I told you, there's no reason to me why there shouldn't be 42-45 in the Dome. There's realistically no reason to me.
I understand that. I set my expectations low, so I'm not disappointed. That's what I do as a Syracuse fan, first and foremost, just in general. But I don't know what the map looks like. I'm sure we will see it soon. And you got to just hope that you're pulling at least 40. 40 would be my target number for fans of the Dome. And, maybe Joe could tip that. If he just made the trip with his 5, with the Fab 5,
Bro.
Bring the kids and the dog, the Fab 6.
That'd be great. Great time.
Stop by here. I'll take the dog. Hell, I'll take the kids.
Oh, no.
I'll take the kids. Screw the dog. Keep the dog at home. I'll take the kids. You guys go to the game.
You'd end up falling in love with the dog, Sean.
No, I doubt it. My dog days are over. I still have a dog who I love. It's a great dog.
I'd bet some money. What
kind of dog is it?
As far as the game goes,
what kind of dog is it? Who cares? What kind of dog is it?
Don't know. You'll never know.
You don't even know. That's why. As far as the game goes, what? He's a mutt. As far as the game goes, what, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, after the first 2 games, I mean, realistically, when you talk about bringing in new offensive coordinators and stuff like that and getting new game plans and trying to get a different system in, I think that this was perfect as far as a situation where these guys came in, they had a run game going. There's the dog right there.
Can you the mic's,
there's really nothing I can do.
I wish it up, dude. Okay.
I wish that Heather would, or somebody would say something, but
no one lived there right now.
No, the kids were with their father for dinner, so they just got home. So, he's just playing security guard. Realistically, after the first 2 weeks, it's a situation where we know that these coaches have put in game plans and they know what they trust. They took what was working last year, brought it in, implemented other things so that we can get a passing game going. And after the first 2 weeks, I'm sorry, but it's just hard for me to think that they're not going to just have another good game plan for this week, So we'll see what happens. But I'm just not worried about our offense. I think there might be some 3 and outs. There might be some things like a turnover or something that hasn't happened in the past 2 games, right? But overall, I still think that we're going to be an efficient enough offense to go against this defense to win. It's just, what is our defense going to do against all that passing?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We're going to get burned maybe once or twice, but He got some talent on the field, but they haven't proven what other talent they have. Besides Aiden O'Connell and Charlie Jones. They haven't proven it. So at the very least, they've got to go prove it.
Right.
Okay. So,
well, I mean, like I said, the dude had, 12 catches for a touchdown against Penn State and over 100 yards. I mean, and O'Connell threw 30 for 6. I mean, he still had a bunch of yards. So they did it against Penn State, and they, like I said, it was a very close game.
Well, Penn State's defense is also ranked 63rd.
Because of Perdue, though, right? Because of their offense.
I get that.
Same situation with Louisville, right? So overall,
it's tough to call right now. So I get that. There's not a whole lot we can go off of. So, which is why it makes it difficult.
When you're looking at the true opponents that both of us have played, the reason why their defense is ranked so bad is because we put up points against them. So it's hard to really see.
Dominic presented Buy Seller Hold yesterday. Buy Seller Hold 5-0 Orange and undefeated. NC State College Game Day shows up in Syracuse for that game, Joe. I sold on it. I would love to buy that, but I don't know if it's big enough. What do you think?
What do you mean? I mean,
does College Game Day show up if both these teams come into this game? Well, NC State might be looking at.
Yeah, possibly.
Right. I mean, NC State could be 6-0, right? I don't think they have a bye until later, if I remember right. But. Possibly? You think that's possible? Where are they now?
Well, I mean, NC State they started the season 13th. I mean, I don't know if they fell back because of how close the first game, the ECU game, was. But, yeah, I mean, they're 16th right now. They play Texas Tech this week.
Yep, 16th. So they haven't fallen back, obviously, mostly because they just haven't lost. They beat Charleston Southern 55-3, which is another one of those hard to decipher games. All right, let's you know what? I screwed up, guys. Have you guys been able to hear Joe? I wonder if they have, because I screwed up again. So, anyways, let's bring Dominic on. Dominic, in the green room.
Hey, guys.
Hey, have you been able to hear us both or just me?
I can hear you both.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right.
Yep, I came in a little late. I had a union meeting.
Oh, okay.
Like you guys care. I don't know why. It's like friends just having beers together.
Oh, all right. Good for you. And how was it?
Dominic.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, I know.
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Did you see my other buy seller hold? That if Syracuse undefeated going into Wake, that both of you are going to go to the game.
Oh, I did see that. And
dude, as long as we're still have a chance to be bowl eligible, I will be going to that game.
Or if we've already clinched, right? I mean, does that count? Okay.
See,
for that or better.
That's my birthday week, so that is the week that I'm.
Hey, hold on. That's my birthday week too. When's your birthday? Did we talk about
15th?
The 15th?
Yeah,
I'm the 14th. We're like brothers.
All
Did
right.
we just become best friends, Dominic?
I don't know. The 14th was my parents' wedding anniversary, and they were married.
What year did they get married? What year did they get married?
They got married 74. I was born 75.
All right. I was -4. I was -4.
Yeah. My uncle and my aunt, they were the ones that got married in Hendrickson Chapel. So.
Joe, what's that?
I said, I'm not going anymore. You guys.
Go ahead, Dominic.
Right.
What do you got to say?
Short and sweet.
Yes.
Short and sweet.
Love it.
Yes. 31 Cuse, 27 Perdue. It is Purdue's strength of passing. They threw 60 times against Penn State, against the Syracuse defense's strength, which is their secondary. And I think that because their lack of a run game is going to make them one-dimensional the way we looked last year, no matter how good their quarterback is, and I think we're going to come up on top. There you go.
All right, Dom. Can I call you Dom?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. All right, Dom. Thanks,
you
buddy.
already have a bunch of times.
I know. So. We appreciate you, buddy. All right? I kid because I care. Love you.
I know.
All right, bud. Bye. Okay. That's great. And
pretty much, I mean, same thing we think, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, kind of not low scoring, but close, kind of like putting up some points, a little bit of a battle. And that's how I saw the Louisville game. I was totally wrong. So,
no.
No,
I mean, hey, look, the game starts and they start running the ball and getting first downs and moving the chains. then you might want to start worrying, a little bit. But there's always adjustments and things like that. So overall, not too worried. But it's something they haven't proven yet against a D1 team.
Can we finish with one thing real quick while we've got the time? Like we got to scoot, but
right.
Let's just finish with one thing real quick. When I've wasted a lot of time throughout the years that we've done this show, and before that, quite honestly, but more so now because I record it and I try to find things right for the montage, these pressers. The preview pressers, if you will, are chock full of nothing, and I don't know what to. If I don't know what to really say about it. Like I don't think I could do a whole lot better if I was in there, but I'm not sure if I could do a whole lot worse, I guess is what I'm saying. And we talked last week, or excuse me, Sunday, about, we seemingly don't have any injuries because there wasn't anything said, and we're not sure because nothing was said or reported on. But nobody asked. Our boy Stephen Bailey is usually that guy, right? So, 20 minutes of talking about, well, I'd say it was 20 minutes long, probably 15 minutes or so talking about last week. You could actually listen to the pregame pressers and go ahead and take his opening statement and get more out of that than you can the rest of the press conference. And that's not a knock. It's just how I see it. No comment? Okay.
Well, I'm just saying some are better than others, right? I mean, it all depends on what questions you're being asked. And
I'm just glad they're there in person. I'm just glad they're there in person. Like, we're done with the Zoom stuff.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's an unrealistic criticism, but
right.
Well, it's not unrealistic to me. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Anything to add?
Not really, man. I just wish I could. I wish I could
really.
go.
Not really.
I wish I could go. That's really the only thing that I could add.
I'm just looking in the green room, and everybody was calling you names. So,
okay.
Just saying.
I mean, why does this always get pushed back to me?
I'm not sure, but someone says, I wish Joe could live up to his word at least once.
Oh, jeez. Are you making this up?
No, someone said that. It was me, but someone said that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well.
Okay. All right. All right. Look, we appreciate everybody in the green room. We love you guys. Thank you so much. David, Matt, Dom, Anthony, Tony, Waterboy, and our boy Michael. Michael, do you want to at least type your prediction to stay in the running for 3 for 3? Going once. Oh boy, here we go. All right, Michael, what's up? Right when you think the show's ending. What's up, Mike?
It's not over.
Mike, can I call you Mike?
Of course.
How about Mike?
Whatever you want, buddy.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. What do we got?
Ooh, I don't know. So this is probably gonna. I was listening to you guys' podcast. The other one that you just did, the post game. And I think Joe. Were you the one that said it was going to be a shootout?
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't him, it was me.
Well, I thought one of you guys said it was going to be a shootout. I think it might be in the beginning, but then I think it's going to be a slugfest after that. I think they're going to have to get the ball to Tucker more often, probably in the second half. And I was so sad that Wax didn't get his touchdown off the turnover because I called it.
Yeah,
I called it defensive turnover.
You did. You did defensive turnover for a touchdown, didn't you?
Oh man,
by the way,
quarter of an inch.
Hold on.
It's too bad you can't return a muffed punt.
Yeah. Oh, you'd spot foul, or it's you can't take it to the house.
Not in college.
Oh, okay.
No,
I didn't realize that.
They stopped it.
Okay. Well, look. Here's the thing. While I've got 4 in here right now, which is a good number, but I want to see this thing like 10 or 15. That'd be awesome. But here's the thing. we are putting together, and for everybody listening, we're putting together trivia questions, which prizes will be given. Big prizes will be given away if you guys go head to head. I can bring 2 people on. We can do trivia. So just keep that in mind when we're in the green room. Okay,
Oh,
the Spotify
man.
Live green room, fan to fan, head to head trivia
Can I do it?
with big prizes. No,
Just don't put me up against Waterboy. I'll lose every time.
you never know. You never know. They could be trivia
I
about
don't know.
anything. They could be trivia about anything. Cuse.
Tony knows his stuff, man.
He does. He lived it. He's
Where's the kilt?
He does.
He's serious.
He's the guy with the kilt. All right, Michael. Prediction. Get down to business. All right.
All right.
You're way behind in this game. You're the only one that has participated live in the last 2 prediction
Get down to
shows.
brass tacks.
So let's do this, if you would, please. Give it to me.
Oh man. Okay.
First of all, don't. Oh man, Michael. Don't you
I
can't.
know, I
Oh man,
know.
me, dude. You know that you're going to be asked this when you come on.
I know it's coming.
Okay. Well, don't act surprised about it, for crying out loud.
I'm not. It's painful.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go 32-24 Cuse.
32-24 Cuse. All right.
Split ours.
They're very close. There's a lot of those, low 30s, high 20s, mid 20s predictions out there. So, all right. Anything else to add, Michael?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, just keep up the good work, guys. You guys are doing awesome. Love listening to you. Love listening to everybody, actually. I love when you guys have other people on and I can just sit there and listen and get everybody else's take on things. And
I love it.
We're not all like super like-minded, which is great, but we're all fans. So it's, we got that commonality going on.
Yeah, no, I love it. I don't usually look forward to the prediction show, but since we've been doing the live segment and people have, you and Dominic and Matt last episode, it's so much fun to get the participation. And Joe and I could do a whole podcast about how much we love what this has become because it's what we wanted to begin with. And I don't think and this isn't a brag, I think it's just fact, but I don't think any show does it like we do. And the whole point of that was because what we're doing now is what we envisioned, like pretty much from the start. Because Joe's an anal retentive person, let's just call him. And he said, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? And what's the point? And so anyway, we laid it all out, kind of what the premise was going to be. And it wasn't going to be some kind of professional buttoned up thing. It was just going to be kind of a shoot from the hip. Joe and I don't talk about anything before the show. And we just come here and both prepare differently and then share what we got. And now it's just that's it. I don't even think about it anymore. I know Joe doesn't because he comes like with nothing. At least I'll write down a couple notes. Joe's just got it like that. So anyway.
Yeah, with like 5 minutes before the show starts.
Yeah, he's pulling up his windows, his tabs on his computer. So
That's how I used to study for tests too, baby.
you know how I used to study for tests? I didn't. I do more work for this podcast in the past 6 years than I've done my whole schooling career.
It just goes to show what you're passionate about, buddy.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
That's right. Well, all right, Michael. We appreciate you, buddy. You
Yes,
take
sir.
care. Hope to hear from you again soon. Okay?
Absolutely. Next show, I'll be on.
All right, bud. Take care, man.
All right. See ya.
All right. That is going to wrap it up with that. And we appreciate all of you. Really do.
Yes.
Actually got a DM from our boy Zach on Facebook. He loves the interaction. He's not here, which is a little questionable, but that's okay.
Oh,
Zach's
come
always
on. Come
Zach's
on.
Zach's always participating on the socials, but
Yes,
he did say
is.
he did notice it. He loves all you guys in there. Loves hearing from you. We love bringing you on. So, what can I say? We appreciate it. All right.
Yes.
So that is going to do it for us, I think, for today, and we will obviously get back here as planned on
Early one.
Sunday.
Noon.
Noon game. Maybe we'll do a Sunday
get
night
it.
game or Sunday night show.
Get it.
It's-
Saturday, you mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah. What am I talking about?
I don't know.
A Saturday night show for Joe. Sean Rob.
Peace.
Confused myself. Whatever. It's been a long day.
No, dude, you ain't lying, bro.